Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Aspire to Inspire. Um, Viewers, have you ever observed a vine using the neighboring trees, plants, fences, rocks, or even walls for or other structures for physical support? These plants also need nutrients, water, and light to live. So any one of those structural or biological needs not being met, they are dead. This reminds me of something very important that I keep thinking as an educator and as human development worker. It's about the two basic needs that all humans have. According to psychologists, when a baby is born, she needs. She seeks attachment. So the first need is attachment, where this is the need for connection, for love, for contact, and for a sense of belonging. And this need remains very much remains intact throughout their lives because they have to make associations with people as they live as successful social beings. On the other hand, the other need is for authenticity. So the authenticity is like something where you need to be in touch with your own body, emotions, thought processes, and you know them. You are in touch with those things, you know them very well, and you recognize them and you apply them in your life, and you are allowed to freely express who you are, and express and exercise your authenticity, not only in the activities that you, but also in your relationships. So the problem occurs when adults in children's life or parents, they are not able to handle children's authenticity. So a child is being expressive. They feel strongly, they express freely, and they vehemently insist vehemently on their truth, but the parents can't handle it. So the problem occurs there, because then the children have to choose between the two things, between pleasing the parent and or being authentic. And definitely attachment at that age is so important that they know that they don't afford to lose those attachment relationships. Therefore they naturally start suppressing their own feelings and their own emotions and their own needs. And a point comes when they lose connection with themselves. They totally lose connection with themselves as human beings. So that's where the problem comes in, because until we have both of these needs met, we cannot live a healthy life. We just keep, as parents or adults or teachers, we keep conveying this message to our kids all the time. I've done that unintentionally, unconsciously, that they are not acceptable the way they are, or the way they feel. uh, we do this because this was done to us at some point in life. We suppressed our own emotions, our own feelings, just because our elders, they were not able to handle them, right? So in response to trauma, hurt, or stress, at some point it became our second nature to start suppressing our emotions. So because of that, we lost connection with our own selves, and this is what we are doing to our children. And the cycle goes on and on. But the problem is, the thing is that this is not this becomes a problem because these things appear as adults. Children suffer. They suffer out of this. They suffer in form of addictions, mental health problems, and a range of physical illnesses. So we face that. All humans face that. If their attachment as well as authenticity needs are not being met, they have to suffer at one point. And definitely we don't want to do this to our kids, to our next generation. I give you some very common, a few common but very subtle examples. For example, let's say there's a child who wants more time to watch their favorite cartoon, and not getting that time, they throw a tantrum. They just lay down on the floor and start kicking. But now the adult, the parent, or the caregiver, they, instead of helping them calmly process that feeling of anger or frustration, what they do is that they start bribing the child or threatening the child in order to make them stop that behavior right away. So what does this do? This helps the child learns to stifle their feelings at the core. They start suppressing their feelings, they start suppressing their emotions, and they lose their connection with the self. Let me give you an example of a teenager girl. Maybe she wants to rejuvenating her good grades, and she wants to throw a party to celebrate with her friends. But the parents want her to behave in more sober, mature, and contained manner. So what can she do? She has a choice to either please the parents or to express herself, or to express who she is, to feel her feelings the way she wants to feel them. This is a difficult choice she has to make now. So this is how, then there are obvious examples. Sometimes even adult kids are not allowed to practice a hobby that they want, a hobby of their choice. For example, let's say music or dance, or sometimes they are not allowed to make choices to choose their own, life partners according to their inclinations, their own personality. They are not sometimes allowed to make career choices, path choices according to their inclinations. So this is definitely not going to pay in the long run. Rather, this is going to turn them into suffering adults. As we look around ourselves, we see there are so many suffering adults these days. Okay, there's one good question that people could ask. What is it that, how do we know about our own authenticity? How do we know that we are being authentic or congruent? So here's an answer. I tell you an interesting exercise. For a couple of weeks, just detach yourself. Detach yourself from what you say or what you think, and start observing your own sayings, your own talk, and your own thinking as an objective observer, as if somebody is observing from outside. So what you'll see, I give you a tip. If you feel right after whatever you say, just start observing how it makes you feel. If you feel weak, as if ripping apart in the midsection, or as if the floor is being taken away from under your feet, if you feel weak in your body and you're in your mind, in your soul, then that means it's not you. It's something, it's dead ideas indoctrinated or manifested in your brain from outside. It's not you. It's not something that you have discovered on your own. It's not your own truth. But on the other hand, if what you say makes you feel strong, right, and you don't have to defend it right away, right after saying it, then that means it's you. It's your truth. It's the real discovery by you. And this is going to help you, because the thoughts, the opinions, or what we say, and is not ourselves, that might work, that might apply to some of our life, but it doesn't work for us on the whole. So we have to be vigilant, we have to be aware of our own selves, we have to be conscious, we have to have self-consciousness, so we can pass the same to our children. If we are being authentic, if we are being able to recognize, accept, and assert who we are, only then we can give this gift to our children, whose basic needs are to get love and attachment from us, and also be able to be who they are, to be able to express who they are, and to be able to be authentic in their lives. Thank you so much for bearing with me. I'll again talk to you with some other topic some other day. Thank you so much, and take care of yourselves for now.